I did not expect this reaction from you.
You're in Auschwitz.
Oh my goodness. FYI, guys, we just already started the recording because you were laughing your butt off, and I was like,
I wasn't ready. Okay.
okay.
I can be ready.
I've already started. What do we do? I'm Ben. This is Jared. We just watched Zone of Interest.
Not really a movie that you think a review would start like this, but Ben just joined the call. I've been waiting for him for like 5 minutes, and he's just in the concentration camp. Well, in the garden by the concentration camp. And
the private residence of the commandant.
Yeah, like that just totally threw me off, and I don't know, that killed me. It's like, anyway, let's talk about the movie. This is our road trip through the Oscars. We've been watching all the Best Picture nominees, and this is our third to last one. And it was called The Zone of Interest, as we said. So, Ben, what'd you think of The Zone of Interest?
I actually, it's just, for some reason, I liked it.
Really?
And I don't know if it was because it felt like historical, I don't know. It was just kind of those things where you got to piece details together yourself. They didn't just come out and just throw it at you,
Yeah.
And you got over time, it got more and more, and you just started realizing stuff, and you're like, oh, and you're like, okay, I don't know, it was kind of like a weird mystery you put together yourself, and just I don't know, is simplicity was refreshing.
Yeah. I wasn't big on this movie. I understand why it's nominated. I can see the implications that it had, the fact that you're watching this Nazi family and you're seeing this guy just be a father and be a husband and just enjoying his life, and it's he's responsible for the deaths of hundreds if not thousands of Jews and other people, and it's the symbolism of the garden right outside Auschwitz was really it hit pretty hard, and sometimes you'd be you just hear gunshots all the time in the background, and screaming, and then there's one point where someone's about to get killed, and this little kid hears it, and it's oh my gosh. It's dark.
Oh yeah. This feels like a movie you would watch in history class.
Yes, I agree. And then I guess we'll save that for spoilers, because I don't think it's shown in any of the trailers or anything. But it just gets weird in some parts.
Yeah. It is
really
bizarre. I mean, it took 3-4 minutes just to get past the title screen.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to bring up. Literally, okay, so it opens, you get all the studios and stuff, and then it says The Zone of Interest. It takes 2 minutes for that to fade away. And then it's just a black screen for 2 minutes with
there's no talking.
Music. Yeah,
there's just a little bit of music, maybe some noise, nature noises, and that's it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Or
this is a foreign film. I will go ahead and say that.
Yeah, it is.
Because
so subtitles.
Which I'm fine with. I don't mind subtitles. It does mean that you have to pay attention a lot more.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking at your phone for 1 minute, it's I just missed a whole conversation and I have no idea what's happening.
Especially because it's not like super structured, like you have to pay extra attention.
Yeah.
So like, I guess we're about 5 minutes in. Should we go ahead and get past the would you watch part so we can actually get in the spoilers?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna say again, kind of like what I said with Killers of the Flower Moon. If you like historical movies, I don't know if this was based on a true story. I know, like you said, it's based on a true person, like a real guy, but
Yeah.
I don't know how true the story is. But like historical fiction or historical nonfiction, then yes, I would say it's worth your time. It's an hour and 45 minutes. It's not bad.
Short, yeah.
It's interesting. It really is. But if you have a hard time paying attention to movies or you don't like slow movies, no, it's not worth your time because you can't even rent it right now. You have to buy it. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I had a very hard time not getting through it, but like paying attention. I found myself going for my phone a few different times.
Yeah, I mean, I did too. But I would still say that it's a maybe. I'm right there with you that if you like historical stuff, then yeah. Solid maybe. I actually did enjoy it. I would say for me personally, yeah, I would say it's worth me watching. I don't know that I would watch it a second time. Um, but I don't know. I just enjoyed well, not say learning, but kind of realizing the different aspects of the life that a I don't even know what the word would be. The life that not necessarily a soldier, but a commander has. They
Yeah.
have all this, this nice house, and they got people working for them. They got all this nice stuff, yet there's literally a war going on. Like, and just seeing how they lived in juxtaposition to what we know was actually happening. It was very interesting in that sense.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm a maybe, and you are. I guess you're also a maybe because it depends.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of.
All right,
Because it's not
let's
bad,
get in.
like
Yeah,
it's not a bad movie at all. It's just
you don't.
like
Yeah, you don't
it
sit
put-
down to watch this you don't sit down to have fun. You sit
Not at
down
all.
because you're interested in this.
Yeah.
That's what this is about.
So spoilers.
Movie's
First off,
weird.
this movie's weird. It's just weird, okay? Like, it's not normal at all. Because, one, you're watching this Nazi family, and it's like, they're doing all this really crappy things and, like, saying death threats to the workers sometimes. Like, just when they, like, put a plate down and they're not supposed to, she's like, I could have my husband burn you if I wanted to.
I'd say this movie is unique in that there isn't really a plot. It's just more of a setting. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
The only like bit of plot that actually happens is kind of like the end. He like gets transferred or something. But that's like at the end. You don't actually see that part happening. You just kind of hear about it. Yeah, this whole movie is just a setting and stuff happening in this setting.
Yeah. And then there's like these weird scenes that happen. What's that kind of like camera style? What's that called? Negative. Yeah, it's like filmed in negative, and it's just like this little Polish girl, and she like goes and leaves food for
Polish.
Yeah, she was Polish, the worker in the house.
Was she a worker?
Yeah, one of them.
Okay.
But anyway, she like left food for the captives in the camp, and all the scenes are filmed in negative, and they just come out of nowhere. It's like the dad reads a story 2 different times, and it's not about that at all. But like while he's reading the story, you're seeing these like negative filmed scenes, and it's like it was really creepy at first. I was like, what the heck is going
on? I think they did that because they wanted to show, number one, the juxtaposition, like the difference between what she's doing and everything else, but also so that you can clearly see what's happening. She's doing this like in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And just using like, a night filter on like a camera, you can't quite see everything, but doing it this way, you can actually see that she's placing the food. She's doing it. They made it very clear.
Yeah. And that was like some of the parts I liked the most. I was like, this is very unique. This is very different. Even the whole story of like showing life from the point of view of a Nazi who has no remorse, no repentance at all for what he's doing.
For him, it's just a job, you know. It's just what he does, you know.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, there were a lot of people like that. Like, there were a lot of Nazis who were fully in support, and it's like, it's weird to see this and not be like one of those stories of just like America winning and killing Nazis, or like, you know, a Nazi who's like, I don't want to do this anymore or something. Like, I've seen that, or, you know, it's just like, this is just like, no, this is about a Nazi who liked being a Nazi. But then there's also that one scene that just comes out of nowhere when it's
with
like
the red.
Yes, when it's showing the flowers, and then all of a sudden it's just red. The whole screen,
like weird noises like, and everything. Full like Inception weird noises.
Like, what was that?
I was like, is this some turning point? No. Like, it just continued. I'm like, and this every time something weird was about to happen, there was this noise.
Yeah, and like, I liked that. I liked the music in it. Like,
I was waiting for it to get freaky, like Twilight Zone freaky. It never did, but I was like, yo, if they like pull something wild at the last like 15 minutes, I would like poop my pants. I'd be like, because it had potential for wildness, but they just didn't.
Now, the ending, it is kind of weird. Because it's like the main guy, Rudolph, is like walking down the stairs and like throwing up. And then you could tell he's like drunk. And all of a sudden it like cuts to him just like standing there in this like really dark hallway. And then it cuts to the Auschwitz Museum and it's being cleaned. And it's like modern day. And it's just 5 minutes of just the museum being cleaned and like all the different areas and stuff, like the ovens and, you know, there's the suitcases and the shoes and all that. And then it just cuts back to him and he like sits up real quick and then continues to go down the stairs.
Almost like he had some drunken vision of what was going to happen, you know? It was weird.
It was weird, like really weird. Like, it would have been less weird if it just cut to the modern day and then ended. But because it cut back to him, the implications of that are like he had some sort of like drunken vision or just like, I don't know, like it was just bizarre.
I'm wondering if it's less of a, obviously I don't think it's an actual drunken vision. I think it's probably more along the lines of he knows deep down that he's doing something wrong, and that is us seeing the museum as representation of that. Because we know it's wrong, and that museum, the entire existence of that museum is acknowledging that this was a bad thing. So it's him like kind of deep down because he's drunk and everything, like he's throwing up and he's, you know, kind of, if you have a hangover where you're throwing up and everything, you kind of get a moment of clarity right after you throw up, and that's when this happened. And he's like realizing, he's like, not necessarily, he's like coming to terms with the fact I'm doing bad stuff.
I think you hit the needle on the head. I think
the needle on the head is not a term.
What?
Nail on the head. Nail on the head. Hit the nail on the head.
You hit the needle on the head. Then.
You don't hit needles.
Tell that to heroin addicts. They be hitting needles. Well, I think you hit the nail on the head then, Ben. I think that's exactly what they were going for. Because as soon as you said that, it was like, boom. Like, yeah. Because I was like all for like, yeah, drunken vision. But no, I think you got it. I think
it's
you got it.
Representation of his realization.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, the more I think about it, I did kind of enjoy it. It was just, it was harder to get through for me. Like, especially after a long day of work and then like going and working out a little bit and then sitting down and watching this, it was like, man, this is a tough one.
I have to say, if it was any longer, I would not have liked it.
Yeah. It being an hour and 45 helps a lot. Because it was like, this is not that long. This is like Toy Story 3 length, right?
Oh my goodness. Alrighty.
Hold on.
Oh, okay. Is it just 2 movies left?
There's just 2 movies left.
All right. Hey Google, number between 1 and 2. Yours went off and said 1, and mine said 2. Whose do we go with?
We'll go with yours because we've gone with yours every time.
That was funny. I was not expecting yours to go off.
Wait, what does yours say?
Mine said 2. No, mine said 1. Yours said 2. Oh no.
Okay, so I'm kind of tempted. We have 2 movies left. One of them,
You gotta watch them both anyways.
I know. One of them, I'm really excited for. Like, I've wanted to watch, and like, I mean, really excited. I've heard nothing but fantastic things about. The other one,
The fact that you're acting like this means that I picked the stupid one that you don't want to see, or that you don't care about.
no. That's the thing. You picked the good one.
Okay, well
So-
then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, but it's just like I kind of want to end on a really good one, but we'll go with what your Google picked.
Hey,
What?
we gotta go with Chance, man.
I know. Okay, so the one we're watching, the next one is called Poor Things. This is a movie with Emma Stone, Willem Dafoe, Mark Ruffalo.
Got
Yeah.
some star power.
Yeah, and it's a sci-fi/comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
That's okay. Hold on. We started this whole journey with Barbie,
Yeah.
and then we had a whole slew of serious, slow thinking. Now we're on sci-fi comedy.
Yeah.
What the?
I know, that's why I was kind of hoping we'd end with this one, but I'm fine with this. I need a good movie, like a really good one, and I've heard nothing but great things about this. I'm really excited. And then
I'm excited for a palate cleanser. I'll be honest.
yeah, and then we'll get through that last one,
Oh my goodness.
which I don't even know I don't know how you're gonna feel about. Well, we'll get there.
Oh, what are the lengths of these next 2 movies? Don't tell me the title of the last one. What are the lengths of them?
It's a great question. Because
I'm
Zone of
sick
Interest
of long movies.
was perfect. Poor Things is 2 hours and 20 minutes, so not terrible.
Okay.
And it's a sci-fi, so I'm kind of down for it. And then the last one is 2 hours and 9 minutes. So
Okay.
no 3-hour movie left.
Oh, thank goodness. No 3.5, almost 4-hour stupid
Well, this
Western
is
that
a
wasn't
4-hour
even
movie.
good.
Was too long.
So stupid.
That movie was too long.
Could have been half as long.
It could have been. It could have been Zone of Interest level length, but it wasn't.
All right. Well, I don't know what this movie's going to be like. I'm excited for whatever it is. We're just going to have to go with it.